Moving on, Web 101 with Chapter 5 here, we have the idea of the image tag. Now, I know that you have already used this in Chapter 4, in IMG, source equals, and away we go. But I did want to pause here for just a moment and talk to you about the twofold reason that we would include our either the alternate text for images, attribute with our image, or increasingly now the long description, LONGDESC. You can see these both on page 148. This is table 5.2. So this is a story about how the internet works. So the story goes as follows. You, as a consumer of web content, have appreciated the fact that when you go to a URL, so we'll just say like my one of store.com, right? So my store, my one of store, has its web front, myOneOfStore.com, and you can come to my website and get the content it is that you are looking for there. So whatever that is for the storefront that I sell, we would see there on the page. The problem is the storefront is made for you to look at. That is true. But as a web designer, I know that really that entire web storefront is there and designed so that Google can find me when an unknown potential future client somewhere down the road says, hey, I'm in Rockford and I'm looking for this kind of storefront. So I need my storefront to come to the top of those region-based search concerns. So for the longest time, one of the ways that we as web developers and designers, one of the big ways that we could get more SEO, search engine optimization, one of the ways that we could get more SEO was to use that alternate image text to provide context as to our web pages. So if I had, for example, a banner image on the very, very top of my storefront page, and I could, it would be like an image, very much like we do at rockvalleycollege.edu. It would be an image of, our campus or whatever. So on my storefront, I would have an image of the storefront. So then using that alternate image attribute, what I would do is say, this, or I would include, the name of our store, small. I forget what I called it already, and I knew I should have written that down. That's my small storefront. I would say Rockford. I would say Illinois. I would put little indications as to what it is that I was selling there, because all of those things help Google search crawl, help Google search strings to locate my storefront. So what's happened over time is Google has said, look, I being Google, will no longer even include in search results pages that do not have alternate image text descriptions, because it is not good for individuals with disabilities, people who have vision impairments, things of that nature. So altruistically, and probably as a lie, Google said, if you do not have those alternate attributes, I will not list you in search. That's not really true. The real reason Google wanted all of those listed in search was because it gave them better search. So that then gave us as web developers and web designers more stuff to do, because we had to include more in these alternate attributes. The problem is those top out. So the long description gives us the ability to both address search engine optimization, which is honestly the reason we even have alternate images. That's why at its very core, yes, it is the right thing to do. And there is no gray area there. Yes, it is the right thing to do. The web should be accessible by everybody. We have all these remarkable tools, phones and tablets and computers and things that very, very easily can provide people with, hearing or vision disabilities, a very good indication of what is happening there with, our web product. So, yeah, it's absolutely the right thing to do. However, it's also the right thing to do by, your company, your client, by including these alternate image attributes and or now these long description attributes, because what that does is give to you more hooks to be able to connect an unknown potential future client's Google search to your web page. So for us, for the class, we will be including the alternate text for our image descriptions, but I will tell you on every platform, everywhere moving forward, you will always include alternate image descriptions and or the long description attributes, because number one, it's the right thing to do. That much is true. But number two is that drives search engine optimization. The better the search engines are optimized to find your pages, the more likely your pages turn up in searches. So we, as designers and developers, can bury that dual purpose right here with our image descriptions, alt, and long descriptions.